Good morning. Welcome to the resale shop. My name is Will. This is Carter's Retro Quest. It's Monday, December 18th, 2023. Let's talk about what sold today. All right, this first item we're going to talk about, it's not part of the big picture disc buy that we did. This was bought in a separate auction. It came as part of the G.I. Joe straight arm figures that we bought. But it is a picture disc as well. It is Disney's The Fox and the Hound. It is brand new and sealed, but as you can see, the sealed is kind of gave up on it. The seal is kind of gave up on it, but it's still brand new in there. I don't think anybody's going to play it. They're probably going to display it, but pretty cool item. It's hard to say what I paid for this, probably less than $1, but it sold for 20 bucks plus shipping. Okay, this next item, it's one of those items that you find over and over again as a reseller and you sell it several times, but it's a Nintendo Wii House of the Dead 1 and 2. Doesn't sell for as much as it used to. I think this time it sold for 20 bucks plus shipping, but used to this game would get up there around 35 bucks or so. This copy of it's pretty minty, looks great, but it's a fun game and we've sold it, I don't know, probably 10 to 15 times now, but cool game. That's going out today. All right, this next thing is a Disney Hallmark keepsake ornament. A lot of times people pass these by, but it's worth scanning them sometimes. This little bugger, it's new in the box. It's Disney's Nightmare Before Christmas. It is called Lock, Shock, and Barrel, but it sold for $39.99 plus shipping. This also was part of a auction buyout lot, so we probably maybe had $3 in it, if that. But $39.99, shipping that out today as well. This next thing we're going to talk about has to be my favorite of the day. We actually picked this up yesterday on Sunday, brought it home, wiped it off, took pictures of it, listed it, and it lasted 2 to 3 hours in our eBay store. Sold it, took an offer on it for $34.99, so 35 bucks plus shipping. I'm going to try to show it without rattling this plastic that we put it in, but it's a 1991 Toxic Crusaders junkyard dog figure. He is in immaculate condition. The tongue is there, the tail is there, and he's really clean. Somebody's going to enjoy this. If they've got the weapons for it, they've got a nice figure. But has to be my favorite. He's cool, his mouth opens up. But didn't last long, 2 to 3 hours in the shop. We picked it up in auction. I did pay up for it. I think I paid like $16 for it just because I thought it was so cool. So we didn't make a killing on it, but I wanted to sell it. So $34.99 plus shipping. Cool figure. All right, the next few things we'll talk about, we've already packaged up and shipped out, but they're pretty cool stuff in there. I'm not going to bore you with all of it. I do skip over our like bread and butter sales, media sales. I try to just show the cooler stuff, but we're going to use the big screen here behind me to show you some of the stuff we've already shipped out that sold Saturday and Sunday. So let's take a look at that. This first thing is a Cincinnati Bengals pint glass. It is vintage. It's going out to a fan up in the Cincinnati area, but we picked it up at a yard sale for a quarter. It was in immaculate condition. It's like mint. But it sold for $9.99 plus shipping. And speaking of the Bengals, there's a gentleman who does YouTube and Instagram videos named Shad Juice that lives up in Cincinnati. Dude has lost like 220 pounds, I believe, this year. Incredible weight loss journey. He does document it some on Instagram, and he's a really nice dude. So check him out if you get time or if you're interested in that stuff. He's also a eBay reseller and a YouTuber, so go over and check out Shad Juice. This thing was really cool. We picked up a whole box of these for $6, and it probably had 25 to 30 license plates in it, all of them vintage Indiana stuff. This one wasn't worth a fortune, but I thought it was really cool. Sold it for 10 bucks plus shipping. I have no idea what house car means. If somebody knows, you could drop it in the comments and tell me. But I just thought they were cool looking and they were different, so picked them up and definitely worth the money. We've already sold 4 or 5 of them for 10 bucks. We only paid $6 for all of them. So pretty cool stuff. This was an amazing find, something that you just don't find very often. From 1997, Hot Wheels Planet Micro playset. My cousin and I used to play with some Hot Wheels playsets, so this brought back a ton of good memories for me. The box on this was almost perfect condition. And for it to be a bigger box and from 1997, you definitely don't see that very often. But we took a best offer on this. We had it listed for $149, and I took a best offer for $135 plus shipping, and we're shipping that out. We shipped that out already this morning. But I think we bought that for 30 bucks and turned it into 135 bucks. So pretty good flip on that. That was pretty much all the cool stuff. We had a few other items going out, a couple game consoles, a couple games and a plush, but like I said, bread and butter stuff that everybody sees and everybody shows that stuff. Media, we sold 27 orders of media. Everybody says media doesn't sell, but if you buy it cheap enough, throw it in a lot of tin, put them together like we did in different types of genres, they'll definitely sell. I think we sold 26 or 27 this day. I think that was Saturday, but those are shipped out as well. But media definitely sells. You won't make a fortune on it, and it's a long tail, but it does sell. Okay, so last video I shouted out Caleb and Chris over at Two Old Guys podcast, Reselling Podcast. This week we're going to talk about Troy over at Mountain Man Treasures. Again, I do not have a huge YouTube following, and this video is probably not going to help him at all. But it's a matter of respect, because Troy's just one of those guys that he's super polite. He makes great videos. You can learn a ton from watching Troy. But also, man, he's helped us out with shout outs to our eBay store. He's answered Instagram messages for me and, give me information and advice that's just been critical for our reselling business. So if you're not subscribed or watching Troy over at Mountain Man Treasures, please go do so. You'll enjoy him, especially if you enjoy reselling and, hunting for stuff and all that. That's pretty much all the cooler stuff that we sold. So let's sit down for a minute and talk about Carter's Retro Quest and who we are. So Carter's Retro Quest is definitely a team. It's not just me and Retro the cat. It's my fiance Amy, 2 of our kids that live at home, Chrislyn and Maddie. We do this as a family business. It's mostly Amy. I kind of just do the YouTube stuff and show the cool stuff that we sold. I'm not able to do a whole lot, but I do what I can to help out. Why we started a YouTube was because I've just always wanted to. I've wanted to be a YouTuber for years. I've wanted to be a content creator and put stuff out there, and I've never let myself for fear of being in front of a camera for some reason. But that's why my videos are short, not edited that great, because if I take a lot of time editing them, I'm going to talk myself out of putting them on. So I do it pretty quick and list it just so I don't have an option, to not post it. How did we get started? I've been on eBay since about 2011, but I stopped reselling stuff years ago. We started back recently again. How that happened was I wanted to get back into vintage video games and wanted to play some old games. And I got online on eBay and I bought a Home Depot large box of video games for 200 bucks. And it was stuffed full. I mean, I don't know how, and I bought it in an auction. How it went through the auction without anybody else bidding, I don't know. I had the only bid of 200 bucks, and it was about 800 video games. When we got it, I knew nothing about video games and prices and reselling. Started looking them up, and I'm like, man, some of these sell for 15, 20 bucks. A lot of these sell for 15, 20 bucks. So we started listing them for sale. They were like in mint condition, a lot of them. complete CIB. So we started listing them on eBay and selling them, and we kind of got hooked. So we kind of got hooked into reselling them. We started going to yard sales and looking for video games. And then while we were at yard sales, we would see other stuff. And it's like, I think we can flip that and make a few bucks. And I think we can flip that and make a few bucks. And the next thing you know, it's taken over the garage. So we decided that we had outgrown the garage. And what were we going to do next? Because it got to the point where you couldn't even walk through the garage. So we started thinking about it. We found this building here in our town. It's literally about 5 minutes from our house. It was an old car wash. It's nothing fancy at all. It was pretty dirty when we found it. But we've, as you can see, painted and made a little office space and everything and set it up for us. It's a 24 by 32, I think, building with a bathroom. So it works for us. Plenty of room for shelving, boxes, stuff like that. It wasn't an easy decision to make. Once we found it, we prayed on it, thought about it. What are we going to do? And we finally decided to do it. Jump in with both feet, basically. And this is where we're at. We love it. It's not a lot to look at. It's definitely not perfect, but it works perfect for us right now. So what do we sell on eBay? Everything. Toys, video games, video game consoles, vintage items, retro items, new stuff, old stuff. If we can buy it at a price that we can flip it and make money on it, there's not too much that we don't get into to resell. Why are you doing YouTube? Because there's a ton of YouTube resellers out there. Because I've always wanted to do content creation. For years I've wanted to do it. I've always talked myself out of doing it. And finally, I just decided, hey, I'm going to do this. If you want to know why my videos are shorter and not edited very good, it's because I do it really fast. The longer I edit the video, the more time I have to talk myself out of posting it. So I try to do a decent job, but I just try to get it out there. Because if I sit and linger and think about it, I'm going to talk myself out of doing it. But the main reason we do YouTube is for fun. I've just always wanted to do it. I have some health issues, and it's like, hey, if I'm going to do this, I've got to do it and get it done, get it over with, mark it off my list. So that's why we do YouTube. Okay, so my camera went dead before we got to film the outro, but anyway, Retro the Cat and I are going to get out of here, take it easy the rest of the day, and look through some toys that we picked up yesterday. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out a bunch. And remember to always, 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 no matter what you do,